I don't know if you've ever had a season in your life where you've thought there must be more than this. You know, the routine of making lunch boxes, getting the children off to school, whether you're a student at university, just getting your studies done, and the mundane responsibilities of life just feel lifeless and like you're going, is there more? Even a little holiday thrown in is a little bit of a spark, but even that is very short-lived. And you know, the temptation for us in the rhythm of life is that we would begin to live with a lack of faith. Then my heart's desire is that I would stir us to live our lives with faith. The command that Jesus left us with when he left, he said, go and make disciples of all nations, teaching them to obey everything that I've commanded them. And you know, that command is for every person, male and female, young and old. You know, there is a purpose that God has, that each one of us have a part to play. It's not just the main leaders or the courses that help people become disciples. It's the people of God. And when we live with a conviction that I have something to bring to enable others to see more of the Lord, to grow in their faith, we begin to see the infusion of purpose in every single thing that we do. I remember when our children were little and there was a merry-go-round of children's parties. Some of you might be in that phase right now. I would really endeavor to get my heart into a place of faith. When I went to those parties, I'd be like, Lord, there might be people here who are longing to hear a message from you, who are longing to hear something of the goodness of God that they will never hear because they won't go in a church setting, they won't go there, but I'm there in a children's party. Or I would always seek for an opportunity with a newly saved person to help them get grounded in the truths of the faith and growing in their early relationship with the Lord. And even though I would have a feeding baby and a toddler, I would desire to have that thread in my life in every season, because God has created us to be his mouthpiece in some way or other, regardless of our season. You know, I think one of the biggest things that can hinder us in being his conduit is being more distracted with the rhythm and the routine of life than actually with the purpose that he has in the routine. And it's like tea. You know, when you have hot water, it's pretty plain, but when you put a tea bag in it, it gets infused and it colors everything. And I think when we live with an infusion of our purpose in everything we do, it colors everything in a beautiful way. We see opportunity in so many things we would never have before. We see value in loving people, being hospitable, being what other people need us to be at times. You know, the scripture also talks about look first to the interest of others before you look to your own interests, which goes directly against human nature, but it's kingdom nature, it's Jesus' nature. And so through our words, our love, our extending ourselves for others in every season, we can live with a life that's infused with the purpose of God. In Ephesians 5 verse 15, the scripture says, look carefully then how you walk, making the best use of your time. And then another translation says, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. And so I just really want to stir us again, that God has called us for a purpose beyond our day-to-day responsibility. He wants to infuse our days with intentionality for his kingdom. When we live with this intention in our hearts, we can find great delight and purpose in the most mundane activity, because he desires to use you to make disciples of all nations.